Hello, Namaste, Salam. Welcome to Baaton Mein with Sapna Vyas. Get ready to meet Yash Birla. He is a businessman but doesn't look any less than a fashionista or a Bollywood star. He is a role model for fitness and fashion. So, let's get to it. Hey Yash, welcome to Baaton Mein with Sapna Vyas.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. My pleasure.
I was really looking forward to having a conversation with you. Right. Because I think I know you since a long time, where we are connected on social media, but this is the first time that we are meeting. I've always admired your sense of dressing, your style. You are yourself a fitness icon. So is there any possibility that we are going to see you on silver screen or any TV reality show?
I've not met such a person who wants to see me on silver screen. I'm sure you can introduce me to one, but on a lighter note, not really. It's not really my area of expertise or profession, but
right.
You never say never. Why not?
Yeah, so some reality TV show maybe.
Cool. Yeah, I'm as real as it can be. I'm ready to say anything, so I'm fine on reality TV also.
Right.
I think life, you can never say never to anything now.
True.
You have to just learn to flow.
Yeah, so I would really look forward to that day when we see you on screen.
Thank you so much.
What's your favorite way to celebrate a personal or a professional milestone?
So me, I'm being a spiritual person. For me, the best is to celebrate within. Thanking your conscience, thanking the divine, thanking the guru. And actually, joy can be experienced truly only from within.
Right.
The external joy is temporary, but if you celebrate from within, then that's permanent and it exuberates in every part of your day and your being and your personality. So I celebrate from within.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, if it's a birthday, I'd rather go into the Himalayas and do some meditation.
Right.
To celebrate my birthday rather than, I like going out, not that I don't, but rather than going for a party on my birthday, I'd rather do it, I'd have an internal celebration.
Wow, that's lovely. I'm sure not everybody can do that.
I don't know. I'm sure there must be a lot of people. But see, each to their own.
Yeah.
It's whatever gives you joy. I just feel joy can be experienced permanently if you're in touch with yourself.
True. That's very true, because the more we love ourselves, we know what really heals us, or if we know our emotions well, I think it's very easier for us to understand the situation, and we'll not just react. We'll understand, and then what works for us, we'll try to be like that.
Very true.
When you say that, go with the flow.
Very true. Yeah. I agree with you completely.
What's the most adventurous thing that you've ever done, or a bucket list item that you'd like to check off?
So again, adventurism for me somehow, of course, I do a lot of things. I'm not meaning to sound as if I'm not one of the many people who enjoy the regular things. But so I used to go trekking. So for me, the trekking is an adventure. And it sounds strange, but the more the dangerous the trek, I used to feel excited, because to some extent, I always go in the Himalayas and it has some kind of spiritual resonance. So I trek beyond like 15,000 feet above sea level, where it gets actually perilous, dangerous, the treks. The idea is not to unnecessarily take danger, but yes, at that time there's a state of surrender. There's a state that, okay, you're an adventure, anything can happen to you, but you trust yourself and the divine, and you leave yourself in his hands. So I went over glaciers and ravines and valleys, and I actually climbed cliffs with my fingers on my knees and on my toes. So if I slipped, I could have been out wherever, God knows.
Yeah.
But I kept going on with that motivation of one is an adventurous spirit, and one is connecting to the divine in a state of surrender.
Right.
So on one hand, that's my adventure.
Yeah.
I have tried a lot of adventurous sports, but to be honest, I'm not very good at it.
Right.
So, funny incident is on this hand, on a trek, I'm very courageous and I can go anywhere because it's an inner faith. On the other hand, I went one day paragliding in Himachal Pradesh, and they told me that you must lean at the back when the guy is taking you forward. So I said, okay, come. And he said, run. And then as soon as we came near the cliff, he said, stop. So I said, stop means I would have fallen down. Why do you tell me to stop now? He said, because you leant forward. So I said, now in this state of just coming off the cliff, I'm not going to remember whether I lean forward or back. I said, this is not on. He said, no, we'll give it one more try. He gave it one more try, and he came towards the edge of the cliff again. And again he stopped. So I said, now what happened? So he's saying, no, the wind took the parasailing, whatever that thing, balloon, the other way. I said, see, leave me right now. I'm untying myself and I don't want to do this.
Right. So you're basically somebody who wants, like when you are in charge, like this, in this you are not in charge. So you would trust yourself rather than other people or other things, right?
You're very right. Absolutely right. You got me very correctly. So when I trust myself, I have conviction myself. And then I connect with the divine. Then I'm ready to do anything.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm very bad. I'll just remain with myself.
So when you were mentioning about your trekking episodes and how you do your trekking, it's very dangerous. It's very easier said than done. And you have done so much. So any memories or any experiences that, you keep on thinking that if something would have gone wrong here, then I would not have seen the other day.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happened. I went on this trip to Satopant, which is a lake beyond Badrinath. It's in mythology they say that the Pandavas ascended to heaven in that route, and we reached up there. It's like a triangular shaped lake right up in the Himalayas. And in fact, we had a mishap because one of the kind of sadhus or preachers who were traveling with us, he took a jump into the lake and completely broke and cracked his leg. And then it started snowing, so we were trapped.
Right.
And then that guy, because he couldn't walk, the hermit, he had to call a helicopter and come down. We somehow, through the glaciers and the snow was breaking in parts, and your leg could go in. It could get trapped anytime.
Right.
But again, you pray to the divine and he takes you away. He takes you back down safe and sound.
Yeah. So I think the things or the stunts or the experiences that we see on screen, you already done in your life.
Well, I don't know if I'm so good at those things like we see on screen nowadays, because I really appreciate most people do their own stunts now. For me, I'm into fitness, so that helps.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of faith in the divine, so that helps more.
For sure. Share your thoughts on the concept of legacy and what you hope to leave behind.
So I think legacy is basically something which you can inherit, not in tangible things, but even in intangible ways. You inherit your DNA.
Yeah.
So I call it sanskaras, DNA. You're born in a family because that's your samskaras. I believe in life after life, and we come to this world with an agenda, with certain things we need to do to evolve again. So my family, I'm born in a family because there's some things, some cultural things, some spiritual things, some business things which I'm meant to carry on. So I need to follow them whether I like it or not. I need to follow them with respect because they're handed over to me, and I need to hand them over to the next generation because it's like, in a relay you have a baton. So baton's with you, then you hand it over to the next person. So if I break it and I don't do what my family has handed down to me, then how will the next generation respect what has been given to them?
True.
So whatever there are a lot of things, virtues, values, culture, systems, ethics, morals, beliefs. You do your best. You can't fulfill everything 100%, but I think that is more what I call as lineage, inheritance than we say wealth or money. That's transitory. That comes and goes.
So when you mentioned that, what the place or the family we take birth in is not in our control, and then what we make out of it is definitely in our control. So this reminds me of Karna's words where he says that Devayattam kule janmam madayattam tu paurusham.
Wow, you know Sanskrit so well. I love that.
Yeah, so it means that the family we take birth in, we don't have any control on. Whether we take birth as female or male or will be born in rich family, poor family, is not in our control. But we can only do better in our life with our paurush, that is our hard work.
Hard work.
So like exactly what you said, that you want to do better for the family that you have taken birth in.
Yeah.
So that's also a very nice perspective you have put in,
Yeah.
that you want to shine, and you already are doing that.
Thank you so much. So, in fact, what you said makes a lot of sense, and it's basically karmas. So, whatever we have control is only on our karmas, and that's what we need to really do it the right way, according to our conscience in this birth. And what we do in this birth will also determine the next birth. We don't have control over where we are, but we can have control over where we may be in the future, depending on your karmas.
True. What's your favorite spot in Mumbai and why?
That's a nice one. So I live in Malabar Hill. Basically, I am more of a mountain person than a sea person. I love the olden days compared to the contemporary times.
Right.
So I love the ancient monuments like the Gateway of India, the lovely buildings we have at Fort. I love the Malabar Hill because a lot of trees, and that's the only kind of hilly area, if I may call it, in Bombay. So I would say these three are the things which if I want to go and appreciate Mumbai, I would do it in this way.
Right. You are passionate about fitness and health. That's very evident. And you have introduced your gym recently. So can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so the new gym I've built as an annexure to my home is called Pump, right? And it's launched by a company called Birla Wellbeing. So it's again, I think, a gym or exercise is not only just working out. It's also to do with your mind, body and spirit. So we also have yoga, we have pranayama. I'm planning to open a wellness and spiritual center next to it, where you have interactions and discussions on spirituality. Any kind of health kind of supplements you need to take, vitamins, glutathione, these are all things add to your fitness and health. I want to do everything under one roof. So now it starts with the gym and all these things come on after that. So yes, it's my passion, hobby, but I think it's also good business because everybody needs to be fit.
Yes.
And I think after COVID, everyone's realized the importance of having good immunity via being a fit person.
Initially, like before COVID, people used to think that, it is a luxury to take care of your fitness and health and eat right or stay fit. But people, thankfully, I mean, this is a blessing in disguise that people have understood the value, that it's no more a luxury. It's the need for you to really not just look good, but be healthy from within as well.
Yeah, so see, we can take COVID as a catastrophe. It was a catastrophe, and no doubt about it. But in every catastrophe, there is also an opportunity to improve. Like in every incident in your mind, anybody's life, it seems something big and disastrous. But in that, we have to search for some essence. Of course, the happening is a bad happening, but there's something we can learn from it. And see, the whole globe has learned that there's something beyond. Which is not in our control, and what is in our control is to be healthy and to live in the moment and to give it our best to that moment, whatever we are doing.
True. So now again I have to ask this question to you, that you're always well dressed, hair is perfect, you look no less than an actor. So
God,
how
thank
filmy
you.
are you in real life?
So first let me respond, well dressed is also perspective. I may find myself well dressed, I may find you all wearing beautiful clothes. Somebody else may walk in and say, what the hell is he wearing? He should be coming for this interview in a suit and a jacket. Each to their own. For me, dressing is a part of what I feel at that time. It's very impulsive. I don't plan, I didn't even know I was going to wear this. It took me literally 2 minutes. I saw the cupboard, wore it, and I came here. That's how it has
So that goes on to say that all your clothes are to the point. Perfect, that you can pick anything and it's perfect.
I don't know whether I would say that. It's just that I'm a very spontaneous, impulsive person, and I don't take time to decide. So if I have to go out even for a party or an event, I take barely, besides the shower, barely 5 to 7 minutes to get ready. So it should flow. All these things, if you put too much of your mind in it, I think it loses its essence totally. The point being here is, of course, dressing up well is relative. But yes, thank you for the compliment. What did you ask next? Sorry.
So how filmy are you in real life?
How filmy I am, quote unquote. I love watching films, to be honest. That's one of my hobbies, pastimes. Now you have so many OTT channels which have lovely content, right? So I watch all kinds of films, international, Spanish, Korean, English, Hindi. I love going to the theatre, not only for watching a film. I think it's a lovely experience just to go with your family or your friends to a theatre, maybe take a tub of popcorn and just enjoy the environment on the big screen. So I actually think it completely unwinds you. So a lot of time in the night before I go to sleep, I just watch one episode of a Netflix show or something.
Right.
So it just kind of, so if you call that filmy, yes, I'm very filmy. I love watching films, I love enjoying films, but other than that, I'm not like, I would not really aspire to idolize anybody, to be with anybody, there are lovely people in the film industry and you can have a lot of friends there. But besides that, to be filmy also is to be aspirational, to be amongst them, amidst that company. That's not what I am at all. I'm in my own world.
Yeah. You are passionate about fitness and well-being. So what is your perspective on mental health and fitness?
So, okay, all illnesses now, doctors, when you go for any illness, whether it's diabetes, whether it is cholesterol, whether it's depression, if it's anxiety, they will all tell you, first of all, work out, do an exercise, because something called endorphins, which get released when you work out. You just feel happy. So if I'm stressed after a day of work and I'm feeling like totally pulled down, and I push myself to go to the gym. Sometimes to push yourself, because you don't feel like, because you're all clocked down. As soon as I start working out, in the next 5-7 minutes, I start feeling good. And then I come out of the gym feeling exhilarated, smiling. So that's what physical fitness does to you. But I always feel physical fitness is not complete by itself. A is your diet. First is how you want to look. It has to be complementary to what you eat. Otherwise, you're doing nothing at the gym. Second is the purity of the food, because how you metabolize it depends on the purity of the food. If you have processed food, adulterated food, it's not going to make you fit. The third intrinsic part, I believe, is whatever you eat also affects the way you think, your alertness, your focus in life. So eat pure food. Fourth, mind fitness. Mind fitness, I can be fit in the gym, but if my mind is not fit, then I'm achieving nothing. And that's where willpower comes in. And that only comes with pranayam and meditation, where your mind is programmed to work in a particular way, but there are certain times when you can program it yourself with the help of your inner spirit. So that's a 360-degree fitness for me, physical, mental and spiritual.
Lot to learn from there.
I'm learning Sanskrit from you, so you can learn this from me.
So what's your favorite way to unwind?
So unwind for me is a good workout. Unwinding for me is a good movie, a good show. I'm not a person who likes to eat. I'm not a foodie. I love my home, healthy food. So I don't like going for dinners. But I love going to coffee shops where there's activity, there's a vibe, there's a crowd, just to be in the environment. Again, I don't eat out. I don't touch alcohol.
You
or
don't
any
eat out
toxic.
at all? As in
very little.
Okay.
See, you may want to do, suppose my wife likes eating out. I have to do it to make her happy and to get joy out of her happiness. So I may go with my family or friends if they like to eat out. Personally, given a choice, I would never eat out. I just don't like it. I'm not fond of food. I'm into very healthy food. So I'd rather make it at home, have it made at home and then eat it. So for me, going to a coffee shop is very relaxing. I can go and sit at a Starbucks and just be there. I don't drink at all also. So again, going to just a bar is no show for me. But if it's a club where there are people, there's music, there's activity, I find it very de-stressing. I find it very invigorating. I feel happy to go out and where there's good vibrations and where there's good music and ambience. So I do one of these things.
So what sort of parties do you enjoy, or the events that you enjoy?
I love it when it's very crowded, contrary to other people. And they say there's a lot of crowd, we don't want to go. I love going, the more the crowd, the better, because you just feel the vibe. That's why I'm going out. I'm not going to drink, so what's the point of me going if I'm not going to enjoy something else? Music, I love techno music. So when there is a techno gig, I love dancing to techno music. So I just go there and dance, look around, come back home. And then watch maybe a TV show and go to sleep. That's on a weekend, of course. On a Friday night or Saturday night. So, but I don't stay in any place for too long because then if you don't drink, then you start, after you've had your conversation, you've seen the crowd, you get bored. So then I move to another place and then I go home fast. I go home early.
So thank you so much for all these answers. But now I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So are we ready for that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Superpower would be a power of intuition where I can see what is good for you.
Okay.
And I would tell you that do this for yourself so that you will progress and be happy.
So something like a future reader,
Future reader.
tarot reader.
For a future intuition with the
Okay.
power of the spirit.
Okay.
And for the benefit of people individually, but in the larger benefit for the world.
Right. Oh, that's deep.
Yeah. See what, I'll tell you why. Because sometimes we think this is for my benefit, but it isn't. Suppose I say I want to go to London. Okay, so I'll wish I want to go to London.
Right.
But when I go to London, over there is some turmoil. Like now there's some war going on in the Middle East. So there's some turmoil there and London is shut or it's raining, pouring, I can't get out of the house. So my trip to London was of no use.
Yes.
I have loved to go there. I've fulfilled my wish, but it's of no use.
True.
So what seems as a wish unfulfilled, actually it wasn't meant to be, because if I had not gone to London as per my wish and I'd gone in a future time, I would have enjoyed more.
Yeah.
Right? So I always feel wishes should be for a higher purpose, not for like these kind of things.
Right.
It should be for joy and bliss, not for pleasure.
Physical strength or mental strength?
Mental for sure, because mental strength gets you physical strength as well.
Very true.
So if I want to push weights, there's a limitation in the physical amount I can put. But if I put my mind that I have to do it, I have to push it, and my full focus is on the mind-body connection, then I'll push much more.
Very true. What's the most expensive thing you own?
For me, expensive thing, there's nothing like expensive. It's what I cherish the most, probably, is
Right.
what you own. So for me, memories are the most cherished. Now I'm giving a very abstract answer. I love memories. I love memories with my family, with my parents who are no more. And so let's say, for me, a photo frame which my mother had bought for me with her photo and my photo on it is the most valuable thing for me.
Right. So after this question, the way we've answered, now I have to ask you, what's the cheapest thing you own? Then let's go abstract.
Cheapest thing I own. I am a person who goes on the streets of Rishikesh without my slippers, bare feet, and I buy a local ganji and I wear it and I walk. So cheapest will be cheaper than cheapest for me also. It's anything. I'm very chilled out that way.
A celebrity who is a fashion disaster according to you?
I honestly, I'm not trying to get out of it, but according to me, nobody is a disaster, because in their mind, if they're doing well, makes them feel confident and happy, then so be it.
Right.
Like suppose you ask somebody else, one of your other guests, this question, and they said, it's me, I'm a fashion disaster. Each to their own. I don't consider myself one.
An internet celebrity that annoys you the most? Their vibe or the dressing, or please don't give me this correct answers.
I know what you're trying. I know you're trying. I'm not giving you a correct answer, but can I be honest? I hardly look at the internet.
You're
I hardly
blessed then.
follow. I hardly look at other people's posts. I'll be self-critical. I'm a little self-obsessed, so I only keep looking at myself
Right.
on the Instagram,
Same
and I
like
rarely
me.
follow anybody.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, sometimes when you're just putting yourself and you're scrolling 1-2 times or doing some pastime, then I do see, but I don't have really any opinion.
So how often do you Google yourself?
Very rarely. Very, very rarely. I see my pictures on Instagram, but so that also, you see, lot of things on the net could be like, obviously, a lot of icons and stars. There you have trolling, you have criticism. Again, fair. I mean, I'm not saying I can't face criticism, but why get into it? Because as long as you're acting with your conscience and doing what you think is best, I don't want to read what people think or people write or different perspectives. I'm just looking what I put and how it seems after I put it there.
What world record do you think you have a shot at beating?
Living in the world and living out of it. Being totally in the world, in a worldly way, and being totally detached in a totally esoteric way.
Wow. What did you last Google on your phone?
Ouch. Probably yesterday, last night, I was watching a movie, a Spanish movie called Alba, and it just went off Netflix. So I said, where else can I see it? I Googled that.
Okay. So thank you so much for all this politically
right
correct
answers.
And very good boy kind of answers.
How do I make myself politically incorrect? I'll have to learn from you. Teach me, I'll follow.
So thank you so much. But genuinely, I enjoyed the conversation that we have, and you are really an inspiration to a lot of people because of your fitness and the way, although you pick and choose in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, but you are a fashionista, so comes naturally to you. So thank you so much for joining me today on the show. Thank you
so much. Real pleasure. It was really a pleasure to be with you, chatting with you. And the best part was the Sanskrit shlok. I really admire that.
Thank you so
nice
much.
And nicely and well said.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Baaton Mein with Sapna Vyas, where I had a conversation with Mr. Yash Birla. He is a business tycoon, but no less than a film actor. I thoroughly enjoyed my conversation with him. I will see you in the next episode of
Baaton Mein with Sapna Vyas.
Yeah, thank you.